Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Happier Hour. Today we have with us Preksha Saraf Mehrana. She's a leadership and career coach with over 18 years of corporate experience in banking, IT, real estate and coaching industries. She has held several leadership roles in HR at HSBC Bank and Godrej Properties. In her last role, she was the head of talent acquisition and HR business partner at Godrej Properties India. With over 15 years of experience in HR, in 2021, she set up her own organization, Potential Infinite Consultancy, which works in areas of leadership development, career growth, and personal effectiveness. With over the last 4 years, she has been working with leaders across organizations, helping them achieve their personal and professional goals. She has completed her graduation in computer science and engineering and holds MBA from XLRI Jamshedpur. In her work as coach, Preksha helps her clients identify how their strengths can be utilized in their leadership roles, relationships, problem solving, decision making, and other relevant areas. She also integrates her knowledge of transactional analysis into her coaching because of its powerful impact on personal and professional development. Today we are going to discuss about a topic which is quite important in our life. We spend 1/3 of our life doing that. It's about career. However, some people fare very well in their careers, others don't. Why that happens, what can be done about it. So we'll be discussing about all of it today. And we have with us Preksha. Welcome to the show, Preksha.
Thank you, Sinam. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so Preksha, when we talk about career, right? So companies, when they're hiring, what do they look for in a company consciously and unconsciously?
I think everything is conscious. So of course, when we say unconscious, then it may be just the personal biases which may come in. But generally, companies are very clear ki what are they looking for, from a participant. So it's the hiring decision is taken by the manager, because manager is going to get somebody into his team, and so he knows very clearly कि job responsibilities क्या है and कौन से qualifications and experiences चाहिए for the job responsibilities. So the first set of things that the companies look for is whether you are capable to do the job, which is basically the functional and the technical and जो knowledge है वो आपके पास है कि नहीं, जो skills चाहिए वो आपके पास है कि नहीं है. So that is the first aspect. The second aspect is what they look at is fitment with respect to the organizational culture. कि we are a particular kind of organization which respects some behavioral traits more than others. Like a startup may expect people to be very fast paced, quick decision making, very good with data, whereas a bank would require more adherence to policies, processes, and so these again are aspects which people check for at the time of recruitment, which is like whether the person will be able to effectively work. Skills to hai, but will he be a fit? Whether it will be easy to integrate him into the team, the organization, whether he will stay in the company, because hiring cost भी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, and if people leave very quickly within after hiring, then most of the time they leave because of some mismatch कि job ठीक से के लिए fit नहीं था या फिर culture में वो set नहीं हो पा रहा है. And ये चीज़ें generally organizations don't want, because it's a loss of time, energy, effort. Right? So when you are applying to a job, you have to be very conscious to think from the other side कि वो क्या expect कर रहा है from a person who will get into that role.
And you interestingly mentioned about culture fit. So culture fit, अगर किसी candidate को देखना है कि whether they are culturally fit in an organization or not, how can they really look for that information?
The company understanding culture fit कि employee
understanding.
So employee will have many sources. पहले तो it was very difficult to do, मतलब difficult in the sense that पहले you had to talk to people you know in the company, talk to some friends, etc. But nowadays lot of information is available on social media. Company के website पे you can see Glassdoor has very good reviews, and you will not go by one review, you will look at पैटर्न. देयर विल बी अ पैटर्न ना. अगर 50 लोगों ने रिव्यू दिया है, अगर सब बोल रहे हैं कि टॉक्सिक वर्क कल्चर है, तो कंपनी का कुछ तो गलत है. एंड यू विल ऑफ कोर्स ट्राई टू वैलिडेट, बट देयर आर सोर्सेस. लिंक्डइन हो गया, ग्लासडोर हो गया, टॉकिंग टू पीपल, एंड इट इज यू शुड डू दिस रिसर्च बिफोर यू ज्वाइन.
And why is it important? Isn't it like, you know, you get adjusted to the culture?
See, if you can adjust to the culture, it is fine. But sometimes if there's inherent difference in values and beliefs, वो adjust करना difficult हो जाता है. So it becomes very challenging to work in an environment which is not aligned to your personal values. Like for example, in some industries, it may be okay to it is unregulated, and it may be okay to have some practices which at a personal level I will not be okay. So I may not find it comfortable to work in such a company, or I will struggle to settle down in such an organization, and it is an effort for me to show up day on day.
Okay. And you know, from candidates' perspective, you know, the Indian candidates versus when we talk about Western candidates, they are very different, right? So what do you think are the differences between Indian candidates and their Western counterparts?
So the differences are defined again by culture, because we grow up in an environment, and the environment has our family, our parents, society, and we see people around us, and we learn to behave in certain ways and value certain things, right? So Indians typically, जो भी research हुआ है, like there are various factors which are very starkly different from an Indian person vis-a-vis a person from US or UK, and such similar differences will be for other countries also. Like an Indian person will not disagree with the boss so easily, but a Western counterpart may find it more comfortable to disagree, because it is okay for them in their culture to disagree with person of authority. In India, we are very respectful of a person who is more senior to us, who has more authority. We are also scared of them, right? Other things which are different is, for example, Indians are better team player. They are they work interdependently, whereas US वगैरह के लोग वो बहुत independently काम करना पसंद करते हैं. Doesn't mean that they're not team players, but they prefer. That is, Indians may not openly express dissent. Like if I don't like something, even if you're not my boss, I don't like something that you're saying, I will not disagree with you. I will be more polite, or I will be more, the way I present it will be different. A Western counterpart may be more forthcoming. Ki I don't agree with you, and it is okay for them. It is not like we are scared of conflict, yeah, but they are not. For them, conflict is okay. We'll deal with it. So these are some differences, which is defined by the culture. Generally, वहाँ के लोग ऐसे ही हैं.
Okay, got it. And you know, in terms of once a candidate joins the organization, there are different levels, right? So once they enter, they start at a very basic level, fresher level, and then with experience, with time, they reach to middle management, then senior management. I mean, how are expectations different on all these three levels from the candidate?
So the expectations are different because of the nature of the responsibility and the scope of work, and seniority, and of course the pay also, right? So everything is, so the more senior you are, the more you are expected to think about the organization at a very strategic level, think about change, think about growth, think about restructuring P&L, like what is the competition doing, how should I make a long-term plan, what are the shareholders thinking, investors thinking. So you have to take all these things into account and think more strategically. At an entry level, you are just doing your job. So you have to learn how to do your role better, how to work well with the team, how to show up in a professional way. So the expectations are very different at different levels.
And you know, when the person, they move from an individual contributor role to a middle manager role, or from a middle manager role to senior management role. So what are the expectations with this person in the move, and how can this person manage the expectations?
So, individual contributor to middle management will typically be a people management role or managing a small department. So that is a transition which is very significant and often the most challenging, because you managing yourself and now you're managing a team, and team has different kind of people with different level of motivation, different level of skill, and everybody may not be a superstar like you. So you need to learn to work with people who have different level of capability. So the expectation from our team leader is they should be able to delegate, have difficult conversation, learn to give feedback, learn how to develop their teams, motivate, recognize, communicate. So these are the key skills. From a middle management to senior management is more thinking about from an overall perspective, like then they will manage multiple departments. They will also manage multiple managers. So they need to be very excellent about communication. How do they collaborate? How do they think strategically? Use data for decision making. Be more customer centric. So ये सब चीज़ें अलग हो जाएंगी. And how will I know is that I am supposed to know. So people who move from one level to another, the people who know what is expected from them, they find it easier, or they at least are aware कि ये मुझे करना है differently. If I don't even know what is expected from me, then I will not be able to even make that transition easily for myself. So I am supposed to know कि अब मैं मेरा role change हो गया, अब मैं everyone wants promotion, right? But मैं promote तो हो गया, but मैं कर रहा हूँ उस level पे काम कि नहीं, वो बहुत important होता है.
हाँ, because I think from individual contributor to middle manager, it's more like, you know, you were a star performer and then you have got the promotion, you become a people manager, but you really do not know what is expected out of you. It's like, you know, you think that probably the ways you were functioning till now, you can continue with that and it will work out. So is that the case?
See, again, it is different for different people. Yeah, some people who have got team some kind of leadership experiences, उनके लिए easy होता है करना. जैसे कि it is not necessarily that you have done leadership in the organization only. जैसे for example, you were a team captain, cricket team captain, अपने college में. तो you were working with a team, right? So you know कि leadership क्या होता है. But suppose you come with no experience earlier, then sometimes people do find it challenging to understand कि whether I am still working the way I used to work earlier, कि मैं change हो रहा हूँ role के requirement के हिसाब से. Because if I am not able to change, then my performance will get impacted and the team will get demotivated. Like think of a manager who is doing your work all the time. Then you will feel कि what is my role then, मतलब manager तो मुझे trust ही नहीं करता है. You will feel demotivated. So that is the thing to be conscious of.
And how can they make this transition happen? I mean, from being a star performer to middle manager. So apart from being aware, so what can be the practical steps they can take so that, you know, they can fit well in that role?
Practical steps that they need to take is, see, they work with managers all around, because every one of us have worked with many managers, so we know what managers do with us, right? And we have good managers and bad managers, so we can learn from others. Yeah, that is one. The second is that as I am changing the role, I am also have to be conscious कि ये role के requirements क्या है, and how do I become conscious? I have to understand कि when I am aspiring for this role, I have to be ready for that role. It doesn't mean that I am ready where I am going to be perfect in it, but at least मुझे पता होना चाहिए role के requirements, ये role में ये requirement होगी. Now I may find it challenging to implement it, which is where I have to sit and reflect कि ये क्यों हो रहा है मेरे लिए challenging, but at least I think I should have the awareness, or seek guidance from mentors, stakeholders, constantly ask for feedback. जैसे एक चीज़ हम बहुत नहीं करते हैं जो कि feedback नहीं मांगते. जैसे मैंने कोई नया role लिया, I'm a superstar, I have become a leader, right? Now I am scared to ask for feedback, or I hesitate to ask for feedback. But if I ask for feedback, then people will tell me. So continuously when I take up a new role, the transition is not going to be easy. It's not going, there will be some time to settle into that role. So I have to find people who can tell me whether is everything going well, what can I do differently. So those are certain practical things is that I think have people where you can ask for support, ask for feedback, become conscious about the role requirements, see how are you feeling in that role, कि struggle लग रहा है क्या struggle है, team perform कर पा रही है कि नहीं कर पा रही, मुझे कैसा लग रहा है.
So in terms of delegation, why certain people are not able to delegate their work?
So delegation is not easy, and in fact it is one of the common roadblocks of managers. Like most of the cases where I have come across, people bring it up as a challenge. Now, and most of these challenges are internal to the person, like the kind of leader you are, and the kind of person you are is the kind of leader you become, and your own values, beliefs about yourself, about others, drive some of these behaviors. Yeah. So some of the key reasons why people don't want to delegate or struggle to delegate is, one is lack of trust, whether the team will be able to do a good job or not. Then wanting to be in control of the quality, the perfection जो mindset होता है, that not willing to let go of the control. So that is the second. And the third is that sometimes the team is not capable, and there is a challenge of wanting to delegate. So the focus has to be on the development of the team. But primarily it is because now I have been used to working and managing my performance, right? Because I control my performance. I perform well, my performance improves as an individual contributor. Now team जब आ जाती है, so team has to perform, and team has different kind of people. And then I am not okay with it, because अभी तक तो सब कुछ मेरे control में था. अब there are people who are not performing, and then I feel like उसको क्यों, let me do their work. Or for example, a mail has to be typed.
मैं जल्दी भी कर दूंगी, उसको बताने से अच्छा है मैं कर लेती हूँ. And I have also done that mistake. Like I would draft, a team member would draft, and I would change everything in that mail. Because अब ये भी हो सकता था मैं उसको बोलती कि change these and come, right? But I would say change करेगी भी तो मेरे expectation के हिसाब से नहीं होगा. Because I want to showcase that कि I am still perfect, right? So these are some factors. And इस चीज़ को कैसे मैनेज किया जा सकता है? जैसे आपने 3 प्राइमरी फैक्टर्स बोले कि ट्रस्ट नहीं है, परफेक्शनिज्म है, और हो सकता है टीम ही केपेबल नहीं है. तो इन तीनों को एक मैनेजर कैसे मैनेज करे?
So अगर एक मैनेजर अगर आप एक मैनेजर के रोल में हो, so then the expectation from you changes. If you continue to do the team's work, then you will be overworked and overburdened, and ultimately you will see that you're not a star manager anymore, because people will say कि you're not doing what is expected of you, right? And it will be very difficult. So I think it takes effort to so it takes a lot of awareness, self-awareness to understand that कि मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ ये, कि ये मुझे challenge. So I think a lot of people don't even know that कि वो नहीं कर रहे हैं इसको. Sometimes it helps when they have a conversation with a mentor or a peer, or get some feedback, or go to somebody and a neutral party like a coach or whatever and speak that these are my challenges, and the challenges will manifest in ways like you're overworked, your team is demotivated, and these are the manifestation of these challenges. So I think the first and most important thing is to learn to understand that everybody in the team is not going to be equally capable, and as a manager you are responsible for not only delivering results but developing your team. So you have to become more conscious about your responsibilities towards the team, कि टीम को कैसे ग्रो करना है, डेवलप करना है. एंड अगर सारे टीम में सब हाई परफॉर्मर्स नहीं होते हैं, देयर इज ऑलवेज अ बेल कर्व, राइट? कि देयर विल बी ओनली 20% who will be top performers, everybody will be somewhere in middle. So learning to understand the strengths of each team member, learning to also let go of perfection, in the sense कि you have to, and it is not, see I am saying it very easily, but ये करने में effort लगता है. That to say that okay, ये mail चला जाएगा, I will not like this mail, but it's okay as long as what is then good enough. Like it has doesn't, it is not perfect, but it is it good enough कि ठीक है मैं और better कर सकती हूँ इस mail को, but ठीक है, is it serving the purpose? Let it go. So yeah, making these basic shifts, like am I micromanaging the team, understanding that all the time am I doing their work, being aware of asking feedback from the team. But India में बहुत difficult है honest feedback मिलना, but
Correct.
stakeholder से मिल जाता है, boss दे देगा feedback, team नहीं देगी. I have struggled with it.
हाँ मतलब team they are sugar
They're
coating
scared. They're scared. कि whether if I will be okay with the feedback that I'll get. So they will say everything is fine. But the engagement scores will drop. The manifestation कुछ ना कुछ तो दिखेगा. And then you will realize that all the time you are only working. सब team आराम से चाय पी रही है, ये कर रहे हैं. All the time you are only doing something.
Got it. And in terms of, you also mentioned about if team is not capable.
Yeah.
So first of all, how do I identify that and what should, one do about it?
I think that is easier to identify कि टीम केपेबल नहीं है, बिकॉज आपका जो जॉब आपने डिफाइन दिया होगा काम करने के लिए, यू विल बी एबल टू एसेस ऑनेस्टली द क्वालिटी कि इज इट मीटिंग द स्टैंडर्ड्स और नॉट, एंड देन इट इज़ अबाउट लाइक कहाँ पे गैप आ रहा है. लाइक वी ऑल्सो इन फर्स्ट टाइम लाइन मैनेजर होता है ना, तो देयर इज अ मैट्रिक्स कॉल्ड स्किल विल मैट्रिक्स, जिसमें हम लोग टीम को जनरली मैप करने के लिए बोलते हैं, विच इज़ लाइक इज द स्किल हाई and is the will high. Skill high, will high is the best employee. Yeah, because वो capable भी है and motivated भी है. Skill low है, इसका मतलब कि वो काम ठीक से नहीं कर पा रहा है, because and to develop skill you have to train. So you have to identify कि is it because of training, कि उसको नहीं पता ये काम कैसे करता है. Can we just send him for training? Can we do like a buddy system? Can I provide more guidance? So those are the things that we try to identify कि ये बॉक्स में कहाँ फिट होता है ये एम्प्लॉय.
एंड जैसे आपने स्किल विल कहा, तो विल का कैसे?
Will is basically motivation. Like is the if you are a highly motivated employee, you will always go out of the way to do things. Like you will take initiative, you will show up, your energy level is high. If you are demotivated, and also managers also sometimes contribute to ये demotivation पे. A manager may be responsible for the demotivation actually also sometimes. The demotivation will show that I will just do as much as asked, there will be too much error, absenteeism, not wanting to do extra work, not wanting to take initiative, generally not being very cooperative. They will not be hostile, but they will generally do as much as basic requirement. Plus nowadays lot of companies have surveys na, employee engagement surveys, उसमें से भी पता चल जाता है because it is anonymous.
Got it. And you also mentioned about taking feedback from mentors, from stakeholders. So I mean specifically about mentors, how can one find a mentor? How does someone know, okay, this is my mentor or can be a possible mentor, and how can they approach that person?
So again, it definitely manager तो mentor कभी नहीं होना चाहिए. So mentor will never, manager cannot be a mentor because he cannot be an unbiased, because he is assessing your performance, right? So he will not be the right person to take as a mentor. You have to take somebody who is जिससे कि आपको कुछ सीखना है. Yeah, so it can be from outside the department also. It can be somebody within the organization who you feel has experience and knowledge from which you can gain. So कभी-कभी तो mentoring programs भी होते हैं. Yeah, organizations mentoring programs run करते हैं जिसमें कि you have the option to sign up कि मुझे mentor चाहिए. If such program is not existing, then it is who is stopping you from reaching out to people. See, sometimes we don't even ask for help and support and guidance. So and ask for time of senior managers. So you will be surprised that if you ask, how many people will be willing to help. So reaching out and identifying people with whom you feel comfortable and openly asking for that, I need support in these areas. Is it okay? Because I have worked with people who have successfully identified mentors because they have taken that step to reach out. And even senior management people are okay to give half an hour in a month. It doesn't take much to mentor.
And usually how does this conversation go, like if I have identified someone that okay, this is the person who can be my mentor, so how do I approach the conversation?
So देखो, I don't know whether you will use that mentor tag ऐसे कि आप मेरे mentor हो. You will say that I need guidance and help. Like would you be with, so वो पूछेंगे. So it is better to have a very clear objective in mind कि मुझे किस area में support चाहिए. तो अगर suppose I'm a first time people manager, I may say that I have taken up this role recently and I'm not able to, maybe I'm really struggling with say delegation, or I'm struggling with giving difficult feedback. Is it okay if, will you be okay to support me? Because it has to be an agreement. And I think agenda should be clear, and you can have more than one mentors also. Okay. No one is stopping you कि organization के बाहर जाके किसी senior को से बात करके आप उसको mentor बना लो. So generally हम नहीं बोलेंगे कि अच्छा can we become a mentor mentee. वैसे तो मतलब कि only that if there's a mentoring program you are like that. Otherwise you can call it guidance, you can call it advice. So many people I've seen reach out to me. Generally you can reach out to many people for support.
And is it like you mentioned that your agenda should be very clear of what you are looking from that mentor. Is it also like that person should be exactly like me, or thought process should be like me?
I think thought process is not important, but at least the person should see, a mentor is supposed to be somebody who has done this in the past and hence from experience and seniority is able to guide you. So agar if you go to a mentor who has never led a team himself, then वो क्या ही guidance देगा? So thought process is not important, but what experience he has, whether he has done this in the past, whether he is willing to support you, how do you trust that person? Do you feel that you will be able to open up with that? Because in a mentor-mentee relationship, there is also, I would expect some confidentiality.
Correct.
कि मैं स्ट्रगल शेयर कर रही हूँ मेंटर के साथ, और मेंटर जाके अपने मैनेजर को बता रहा है. सो ये सब नहीं होनी चाहिए.
Got it. Yeah, because I think the concept of mentor is still very, very new in India, and I mean we really struggle to find one. And मतलब वो पता ही नहीं है क्या पूछना क्या है, पहले तो किसे बनाना है, क्या पूछना है, कैसे चलता है ये पूरा. So I think there's a lot of ambiguity around this entire topic of looking for a mentor.
Organizations are trying to put in place some structure कि mentoring relationship को improve करें, and many people are signing up for it also. But then I don't know how much they trust that process. But again, I feel that this is a limitation that we are only putting on ourselves. If I don't reach out to people, how will I know? So I have to take that initiative to identify. अगर 4 लोगों को identify किया, अगर एक भी agree करता है, enough है ना?
Correct. So basically, you need to take initiative.
You need to take
go
initiative
and ask for what you are looking for, and then see how it goes.
See, ultimately, I feel that one thing we have to be very clear that हमारा जो growth and development है, and हमारा जो career है, वो हमारी responsibility है. No one is going to come and do. The organization is going to create policies, processes. Manager is going to be there. Sometimes, if you are lucky, you have a good manager. Sometimes managers are difficult, but at the end of the day, you want to grow, you take responsibility.
Because somewhere I was reading and actually it resonated a lot with me. It said जो हमारा education system है इंडिया में, it's more like structure already है, you just are given certain parameters, just perform on that. College भी वैसा ही है, मतलब इनफैक्ट लोग MBA करते हैं या engineering करते हैं, उसके बाद jobs करते हैं. So till education it's more like सब कुछ थाली में सजा कर दिया गया है हमें in a way कि बस तुम bare minimum करो and you will be done. But as soon as we go in the real world, things are very different. It's not like थाली में सच के कुछ भी मिलता है, and you really need to go out, ask for help. So there's a lot of difference in terms of what you are used to and what you are expected to do.
या सो जब हम लोग कॉलेज से निकल के जब हम जॉब में जाते हैं तो वन तो वी आर वेरी हैप्पी कि जॉब मिल गया,
नौकरी लग गई.
सो आई थिंक दैट इज़ अ बिग रिलीफ ऑल्सो फॉर अस, राइट? कि बट देन दे रियलाइज दैट नौकरी रखनी मतलब यू हैव टू सस्टेन दिस एंड ग्रो, यू वांट टू ग्रो, राइट? 1-2 साल अच्छा लगेगा, बट देन यू सी दैट अदर्स आर ग्रोइंग एंड यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग दैट मैं क्यों नहीं कर रहा हूँ ग्रो. एंड सो यू राइट कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में ऐसे कोई आपको आके इतना रोज रोज का गाइडेंस नहीं देने वाला है, या फिर नो वन इज, ऑफ कोर्स देयर विल बी फीडबैक गिवन एंड देयर विल बी, एंड देन इन अ कॉलेज यू नो यू हैव फ्रेंड्स हु आर ऑलवेज देयर टू सपोर्ट यू. इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एवरीबडी हैज देयर ओन work and you know, of course you make friends at work, but I think you have to manage your own thing.
So I mean your career is actually your responsibility in a way. It's not like someone else is going to guide you.
So no one is going to come and tell you कि अच्छा तुम ये काम जल्दी से ठीक से, if your peers also see that you're not performing, they are not going to come and tell you क्यों नहीं perform कर रहे हो, because they will stay out of it firstly, because you are an adult and you are expected to be responsible for your work. Secondly, you know, it's a competitive environment, no? The rating is basis a bell curve. So हर चीज़ के लिए एक bell curve है. So only 10% of the companies can be top performers, right? So everybody is fighting for that top performance rating. So support from peers is also within your own team. Maybe you have to ask for it. No one is going to just offer it on platter.
करेक्ट. यू नो एक कॉमन मिस्टेक जो मैंने देखी है वो ये भी है कि जब हम जॉब ज्वाइन करते हैं उसको जॉब की तरह देखते हैं, राइट? करियर की तरह नहीं देखते हैं. सो व्हाट इज़ योर व्यू ऑन दैट?
सो आई थिंक हम इतना सोचते नहीं हैं आगे, क्योंकि हम ले लेते हैं जॉब बिकॉज वी नीड अ जॉब ऑल्सो, राइट? After spending so much on education and itna time, parents के expectations, everything is there, right? So sometimes we are not even clear कि हमें क्या चाहिए. So when we are picking up a job, I think initially we are not clear that what we are looking for, and it takes a few things, moves to understand that okay, what am I good at? You know what. Where do I want to go? What kind of role I want to see myself doing? ये बहुत middle management में भी लोगों को नहीं पता होता है कभी-कभी. When I ask them कि okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years? They will say I want to see myself in a senior position. So you know, because it does take time and effort to think actually where do I want to reach?
Okay. And in terms of career goals, so like medium term, long term career goals, तो ये कैसे सेट करने चाहिए अपने लिए एंड कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहिए?
सो आई थिंक इंक्रीजिंगली क्या हो रहा है मैं रियलाइज़ कर रही हूँ कि वन थिंग इज़ दैट इट्स ओके टू it is not easy, but it is possible to switch careers. So I think more and more people are willing to switch careers these days, and we are seeing career as a set of experiences, right? Holistically, we are looking at it like that. So when I look at career goal, I don't know, like I'm saying, I see people struggle with defining their career goal कि इतनी clarity नहीं होती कि मुझे आज मैं बहुत commonly asked interview question है, why do you see yourself in 5 years? So a lot of answers will be very very generic because no one is sure कि career paths क्या है company में जहाँ मैं join कर रही हूँ, and what are the possibilities to switch if I don't like this? Is it possible to switch to some other role internally, externally, and what am I really good at? So I would say that when you're thinking about career, at least think of the 2 moves. प्रैक्टिकली अगर मैं बोल लूँ कि डोंट जस्ट थिंक अबाउट ओके इस रोल को लेने के बाद सपोज आई एम चेंजिंग माई जॉब, इफ आई टेक अप दिस रोल व्हाट एडिशनल स्किल्स एक्सपीरियंसेस एक्सेट्रा आई विल गेट, एंड इसके बाद मेरे लिए क्या है. सपोज आई एम गेटिंग इनटू अ रोल व्हिच इज वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम व्हाट आई एम डूइंग करेंटली, और आई एम नॉट श्योर कि इसके बाद क्या होता है, then I would say that think through it properly, at least, so that, because after 2-3 years you would like to grow. So what does that growth part look like? And when you are setting career goals, you have to look at your own strengths. Ki what am I good at? What are things that I do well? What are the things that I want to do? And what kind of opportunities exist in the market for the kind of work that I want to do? And if I want to reach suppose I want to reach a sales and marketing head role. मेरा गोल है कि मैं सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग हेड बनूँ किसी भी कंपनी के. So then suppose if I have to do that role, I have to do some sales role. Because without doing sales, I will never be able to understand the complexities of sales. Right? So if I am clearer about my goal कि मुझे कहाँ जाना है, then I can plan it accordingly. So this is my perspective, that if I know that I can be intentional about my choices. And also I can also be intentional about the skills I would like to build, or the trainings, certifications, या फिर जो भी knowledge building, skill building है, वो मैं easily कर पाऊँ. So if I want to become a P&L head of a company, then I have to have done some kind of business development role. See, again, it is like I have seen CHROs become CEOs, ऐसा भी होता है, but then they bring in different kind of mindset and other aspects. But I think at least having that clarity helps. But if you can't think so far for whatever reason, then at least think about 2 moves. कि इसके बाद मैं क्या करूँगी?
And actually that makes sense, because if you are thinking of 2 moves, you are actually kind of, creating a vision for yourself, and you're pulling yourself towards it.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting where you are sitting and then thinking करना क्या है, next क्या करना है अभी.
Because sometimes what I have seen happen is that I'm not happy with my current role for whatever reason, and I want to move out desperately. And I get a role and I move. And then maybe that role is very unstructured, and उसका parallel कोई market में होता ही नहीं है. And or if more other companies will require some specific qualifications. So currently I'm working with somebody who wants to move into a role where CA is a qualification, but उसके पास है नहीं. But because he was working in US, he got that opportunity. So he did that. But unfortunately, for whatever reasons, he has to now find another role, and he is struggling. So that question कि ठीक है ये role तो मैं कर रहा हूँ, but इसके बाद क्या होता है? And is it possible for me to move into that role very easily 2 साल बाद?
And I mean in terms of knowing that कि क्या ये move possible है, नहीं possible है, so how can I get some guidance?
There are a lot of people who are doing the role you can reach out to.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can ask the person who is doing the role. That is where the mentors come in. There is a lot of information available on LinkedIn. अगर तो कोई job description जाके पढ़ोगे किसी role का, so you will see what the role asks for. Yeah, so but again you can only do it if you are clear but asking people what are my career paths. Sometimes even if you don't have that experience, you have some particular skill set, people do take a bet on you. But I have seen that happen a lot with internal moves. When internal moves जब होता है, जो IJP के through होता है, people do change departments, like HR से कोई business में चला जा रहा है, business से L&D में कोई आ रहा है, or departmental shift, sales से they are going into marketing, or because internally क्या होता है, people they understand your experience, they know you as a person, they see your past performance data. So this helps them take a bet on you. So IJP is a very good method to leverage if you want to switch paths.
Roles.
Yeah. If your company has that, I would say leverage on it as much as possible.
Okay. And what, as per you, which skills are the highest paid skills?
See, I don't think there is anything like that. I think it is if you are good in a role, people are willing to pay for it. If you're good in your work, so people in different industries get or different skill sets earn well. So it is all about competence, I feel, at the end of the day. But having said that, there is also sometimes there are some skills in more demand. जैसे AI is in demand, cloud computing is in demand now, data engineering is in demand now. So some skills are naturally at that point in time in demand, and hence more job opportunities exist. And again it's also how much you get paid is also depends on this talent supply demand, right? अगर आपके पास ऐसा कोई है skill जो कि बहुत existing है, people will not pay you that much. So if you want to get a premium, you need to bring something which is not easily available.
Makes sense. And you know, in terms of these days, there's a lot of discussion about 90 hours of work and you know, work-life balance. So usually, I mean, how can someone create a work-life balance? And does work-life balance look similar for everyone?
So again, it depends. Different people want a different kind of work-life balance. Yeah. So and it also varies a lot with what kind of life stage you are at. Like women early in the career may be more willing to stretch. Later they may have to balance between family, work, or men for that matter also. Yeah. So again, how much of work-life balance one needs is one's personal decision. Some companies encourage it more than others. Like if you are in an environment which encourages work-life balance and there are organizations which really value it, then you are supported by it, because then you know that it's okay to not answer calls after work hours, or it's okay to not check mails over holidays. But then there are organizations which expect you to be accountable at all points in time. Jahan pe it becomes little challenging to maintain that work-life balance. But again, there are a lot of things that an individual can do themselves differently.
And what can be these things?
I think there are various skills I feel that can enable work-life balance. One is ability to say no.
That is very tough.
That मैं नहीं करूँगी, या so willing, that ability to draw boundaries जो बोलते हैं कि ठीक है तो learn to negotiate. I know it's not easy again.
Yeah, because you know, when I said it is very difficult, it's also from a cultural context in a way. Because जैसे आप पहले भी कह रहे थे कि इंडिया में अपने बॉस को उल्टा बोलना, ना बोलना आसान नहीं है, right? And that is somewhere the reality of us. क्योंकि मतलब वो वैसा है कि बॉस ने अगर बोला है तो you have to do it.
Yeah.
तो मतलब ऐसे उसमें कोई कैसे मतलब you know how can they exercise the power of no?
See, again it is I agree that sometimes it is very difficult to say no to bosses. I don't disagree with that. And but however I think sometimes you have to have that communication with the boss. कि sustained period, like see there will be peaks and troughs. कि अगर कोई project चल रहा है and there is a delivery, then see as a responsible person I will not think about stretching, but like I am also humanly not capable of not stretching myself a lot for a sustained period of time. So my own performance and mental health will start struggling. So I need to have that conversation that ये नहीं हो पाएगा मेरे से, and then I have to take a call that okay, what are the implications? कि ठीक है, at least I think first at least having an open conversation, not to say कि मैं interested ही नहीं हूँ, but these are my challenges that okay, अगर मैं ये कर रही हूँ तो what else can I let go of? Can you give me a backup? Can I work with somebody else? Can you give me a resource? So there are many ways that you can talk with your manager. Is it possible to give an intern? I have seen managers do that also. जैसे कभी बहुत struggle हो रहा है, बहुत extended period तक बहुत काम है, and managers can also see like every manager is not toxic. Yeah? So managers will say कि okay, like can we इसको आधा काम ये दूसरा वाला project इसको दे दो, या let's hire an intern for a few months to support you with operational aspect. So those things are possible. So that is one aspect. The other aspect is again prioritization and delegation. कि okay, which are the urgent important? तो मैं अभी करना है मुझे, एंड व्हाट एल्स कैन आई डू टुमारो. So whatever is in your control, you can exercise that, Sinam. I feel that there will be certain things. So first we have to deal with things which are in our control. What are the things in my control? Is that am I able to prioritize? Am I able to delegate? Am I able to have this conversation? Yeah. Am I skilled to do this? कभी कभी काम करने के लिए टाइम भी लगता है क्योंकि मुझे पता भी नहीं कैसे करना है. तो नया नया कुछ सीख रहे हो तो टाइम भी लगता है. So is there an efficient way of doing this? Can I ask for help? So these are the things which are in my control. उसके बाद अगर suppose ये नहीं हो रही, then it comes to okay, then how do I work with others? So
got it. And very important aspect that you talked about or touched upon was mental health and also burnout, right? In a way, because अगर ये extended period तक you are stressed, so it does lead to a mental burnout. So what would be your suggestion to the employees ki how can they manage, employee and employer both actually?
So burnout के तो बहुत सारे like there is lot of research around कि क्या है burnout and symptoms क्या हैं. So basically symptoms are like high level of anxiety, not wanting to feeling like working, not feeling good enough about yourself. Then high level of stress, yeah, not able to focus on other aspects of your life, not able to sleep. So these are the symptoms of burnout. So people around you can easily, if you're not able to identify, people around you can also help you identify. Managers can also identify अगर कि कोई employee का energy बहुत low है, absenteeism high है, lack of focus है, quality of deliverable कम हो रहा है, but generally the employee is not like this. So can I understand that what is happening with this person? Is it because of overwork? Is it because of other factors? So it is. So yeah, and also if I start feeling like I'm not able to, all the time thinking about work, not able to switch off only. Because I'm always stressed about some deliverable. कुछ गलत हो रहा है क्या? कुछ गलत हो जाएगा क्या? Will I be called out? So these all lead to anxiety, right? So seeking some help in those aspects is important, I think, because otherwise it may just lead to more health issues, I think. It can manifest in many ways, physical, mental health.
And मतलब इसके बारे में employees क्या कर सकते हैं if they recognize that yeah I'm burning out, I have severe anxiety now and I'm
So
not able to
definitely
switch
seek
off.
help, professional help, talk to the managers, because more and more organizations also have this EAP support,
What is
employee assistance program. So more organizations are having this employee assistance program, which is like they tie up with a set of counselors, जिसके साथ the employees can have anonymous conversations. So the conversations are not recorded, it is anonymized, no one comes to know कि तुमने ये बात की है, किस topic पे बात की है. So you now so there are a lot of companies which provide EAP support, because so people can reach out. If you can't reach out to anybody, you can reach out to this EAP helpline if your company provides, or you can reach out to say a friend or some trusted senior, your family member. So abhi there are avenues available to employees. EAP जैसे use ही नहीं करते employees because they think that it is company is providing it, तो उनको पता चल जाएगा. Because see, we also don't want to showcase that कि हम struggle कर रहे हैं. सबसे बड़ा challenge तो वही है. Because what will the manager think if I tell the manager that I'm not able to cope? So we're so worried about all these things that we sometimes don't want to even share कि हम struggle कर रहे हैं. Maybe the manager will help.
Correct. And there's a lot of talk about toxicity at work as well. So मतलब toxicity कैसे manifest होती है work पे?
So toxicity can manifest in many ways. Like, see, boss can be toxic. Like, not giving you enough time to finish tasks. Always finding problem with your deliverables. never appreciative, not recognizing you or insulting you in front of others. Yeah? That can be one kind of toxicity. The other toxicity can come from the workplace, like the team is not being supportive, hiding information, not sharing resources, not sharing information. Boss can also hide. So intentionally making your life difficult basically is toxicity at workplace.
एंड इसमें आपने दो एस्पेक्ट के बारे में बात किया, एक तो बॉस की साइड से टॉक्सिसिटी एंड दूसरा टीम की साइड से ही टॉक्सिसिटी. सो आई मीन हाउ कैन वन मैनेज बोथ ऑफ देम? पहले तो बॉस वाली टॉक्सिसिटी एंड देन टीम वाली टॉक्सिसिटी.
सो बॉस अगर टॉक्सिक है तो सी आई पर्सनली फील कि यू शुड हैव एनफ पीपल इन द सिस्टम हु नो एनफ अबाउट यू.
ओके.
विच मीन्स दैट तुम्हारे बॉस के अलावा there must be at least 2-3 more senior people equivalent to your boss who know about you, so that your boss cannot be the see, boss has a lot of power, but lot of things in organizations are done in groups. जैसे calibration होती है, जैसे like ratings are calibrated, like all the teams will come together, your boss will recommend a rating, others will also give input on it, right? HR will be there, then similarly promotions are also sometimes discussed in larger groups and teams. So agar suppose your boss is toxic and has some strong views about you and other stakeholders have a differing view about you, then sometimes they also speak up. So it helps, yeah, so that if you are only known by your boss and किसी को नहीं पता आपके बारे में कि what are you capable of, then you will have no support. So it is always nice to have some stakeholder relationship done so that you have enough people who can talk about you, so that you don't get impacted by the boss's toxicity a lot. Otherwise क्या होता है कि then you're at the mercy of the boss. There's no one to challenge the boss. But अगर कोई equivalent senior person आपके against में बोल रहा है, मतलब कुछ बोल रहा है आपके favor में, but no, my experience with this person has been different, and दो लोग बोल रहे हैं, boss अकेले बोल रहा है, then boss will also, of course he has a say, but there will be lesser damage, I feel. So I think firstly to see if it is possible to talk and figure out कि क्या चल रहा है, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, and if possible,
with the boss,
with the boss, कि I feel like what am I doing differently and what else is expectation, where am I falling short, what is happening, this is my experience of what is happening. But it is sometimes difficult to talk to your boss. But if that conversation doesn't help, and if it is becoming too difficult, maybe to involve HR, fall back into company policy if it is becoming too difficult. But to see if there can be enough support provided. I would say कि अगर बहुत ही नार्सिसिस्ट बॉस है, बहुत टॉक्सिक है, and it is not working out, I would say to change the department.
Okay.
If you are not able to really work it out, because it's very difficult, because boss is a very, very big, important stakeholder.
You talked about boss, managing the boss toxicity. How can one manage the toxicity in the team?
So toxicity in the team is less harmful than boss, because there you can also talk it out with them, because वो peer level पे है. So maybe it will help to understand कि can I build some rapport beyond work? क्योंकि लोग भी ना relationship के लिए काम करते हैं. See, because sometimes we realize that we are so much about work, right? कि अगर आपका relationship अच्छा होगा किसी के साथ, आप realize करोगे कि वो अगर आप process follow करोगे तो वो 2 दिन में देगा. But because you have a good rapport and a good relationship, say please can you do it? They will give you in half a day also. So I have personally learnt in my experience that building relationship with key stakeholders or key people, team is important. Because because टीम में भी कभी कभी इनसिक्योरिटी हो जाती है कि ये नया कोई आया है या फिर दिस पर्सन इज मोर केपेबल, लाइक can we trust, or sometimes some of these are sometimes if we speak and we try to build a rapport, and sometimes it helps. But अगर नहीं भी हो रहा है, suppose somebody is really against you for whatever reason, then it is little less harm as long as your rapport with the boss is good.
Yeah, because I mean it's very interesting, because the conversation we did, what I understood was that actually one should focus on making relationships in the office with key stakeholders and not focus only on work and only my boss. So you should look at a bigger perspective. You should look at, you know, people at various levels. You should try to have a relationship with them, so that if time comes, they vouch for you.
Yeah, also because, you know, it is very easy to, you know, what word can I use? To be difficult with a person who is weak in the system, right? कि उसके कोई है नहीं, मतलब the person is struggling and weak, because it is easy to manage, you know, what will be the pushback. Yeah, but if you are a good performer and if you have people who know you and have worked with you, have different experience with you, then there are people who will stand up for you.
हाँ, तो थोड़ा समझदारी से जाना चाहिए जब हम ऑफिस में जाते हैं. मतलब वी शुडंट गो विद दैट पर्सपेक्टिव, बस आज का काम करके घर वापस आ जाते हैं.
वो तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं करना चाहिए कि आज का काम, बिकॉज काम तो करना ही है. मतलब काम तो नॉन नेगोशिएबल है. सी, वर्क इज इम्पोर्टेंट, but beyond work all these things are also important, like, and it is not like we are being conniving, or this is a natural process. Like, you have to have relationship with people, build connections, build network. पूरे हर aspects of our life it is important, including work. Because the more, we have also seen that when people look for jobs, 80% of people find jobs through connections. वो job boards and नौकरी and ये सब से मिलता है job, but only 20% people find jobs through those. Mostly people find jobs because somebody refers them, somebody talks about them, or you reach out to somebody who is working somewhere else.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. That only if people know you, they'll refer you. नहीं तो nobody knows you, and सिर्फ काम से तुम्हारा काम पता होगा, but how you are personally, how you are dealing with your work, I think that is important. और you know, इससे एक चीज़ मेरे को one question that I've got is, how important is it to talk about your work?
It is very, very important to talk about your work, because what happens is that, see, again, boss is a very important person, right? So I have worked with bosses who have seen my work, and even though I have not been able to talk about it, they have talked about it. So if I am lucky like that, to have a boss like that, then it is excellent for me. But suppose I don't have a boss like that, yeah, irrespective of what the boss is, you have to take charge of your career, right? So you have to find opportunities जहाँ से लोगों को आपकी capability के बारे में पता चले. जैसे कि आप projects में, different projects में काम करो, take an opportunity to present. जहाँ पे suppose कि कोई off site हो रहा है, वहाँ पे कुछ presentation opportunity तो present about what your team is doing, और जनरली टेक इनिशिएटिव. बहुत सारे कंपनीज कुछ ना कुछ प्रोजेक्ट ये वो रन करते रहते हैं. बी विजिबल. So through your work only you can create visibility and awareness, and don't shy away, because if you have done it, then you deserve, others need to know about it, because beyond your manager, people are a lot driven by perceptions.
That's very interesting when you said people are driven by perception, because I guess once you get into corporate, you realize that it's not like your boss is going to say all good things about you. They may say, you know, good things about you in front of you at times, but then other people don't know, and then it's only about through gossips that are happening that people know, okay, what he or she are doing.
ग्रेपवाइन तो बहुत बड़ा होता है कंपनी में. इन्फॉर्मेशन इज नॉट नेसेसरली कमिंग थ्रू फॉर्मल चैनल्स. तो इनफॉर्मली तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें आप देखना कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन इनफॉर्मली आप किसी के साथ चाय पीने गए हो तो वहाँ पता चलती है, जो कि इफ़ यू वुड नॉट हैव गॉन फॉर दैट मीटिंग और जस्ट दैट आउटिंग, आपको पता भी नहीं होता कि ये सब चल भी रहा है कंपनी में. वो तो है फैक्टर इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि यू हैव टू बी माइंडफुल कि व्हाट इज़ अ परसेप्शन दैट यू आर क्रिएटिंग एंड बस खाली काम करने से बिकॉज स्कूल कॉलेज तक क्या होता था यू स्टडी योर मार्क्स विल स्पीक फॉर इट राइट एंड मार्क्स मैटर बट वर्क में क्या वर्क में बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स होते हैं इट्स नॉट ओनली द वर्क दैट यू डू बिकॉज काम तो सब कर रहे हैं to some extent everybody is doing some work you are doing more some is doing less and often we find ourselves कि मुझे क्यों नहीं मिला promotion उसको मिल गया वो करता ही क्या है that's a very very common जब promotion list आती है ना everybody is like talking about the promotions
correct and you know ऐसे में corporate politics is also something which is very very real right how can someone maneuver corporate politics if they are not good at it
See, it is a given because every system is political. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि कोई भी ideal मिलेगा आपको. So I think that at some level, I think you have to be a part of it. In the sense that you don't have to like necessarily slander or you know, but you have to understand कि यहाँ पे ये important क्या है, मतलब कौन लोग हैं यहाँ पे जो important है in this whole system. And there may be also groups and teams जो कि साथ में lunch करते होंगे. So I would say that don't sit at your desk and eat for sure. जितना भी काम हो, try to meet, have lunch with the team. Because जब आप otherwise क्या होगा आप if you are sitting at your desk and eating then they will say अरे ये तो बहुत hard working है and you know so those kind of impressions also or she doesn't want to mix with us and things like that. So also you are just feel more part of the team because lot of discussions happen at lunches. जैसे कि आप फैमिली के बारे में बात कर रहे हो there you talk about other things you talk about other interests खाली work के बारे में नहीं बात करते हैं हम so it also helps in building rapport and वहीं पे ही सब ये सब discussions भी होती हैं कि एक दूसरे के बारे में बात करना and all of it is not harmful ना and then going out with like trying to meet people from different departments also जो तो आपके key stakeholders है जैसे आप अगर सेल्स के साथ काम करते हो तो सेल्स में कौन लोग हैं जो तो so then you also again it comes down to building connections I feel but see I think you cannot avoid it see I think वो जो बोलते हैं ना कि मैं political नहीं हूँ I think if you just these some small things you can do like these are okay harmless
and like you said it's a reality
it's a reality
it's not changing because of you
so cannot change it
correct so you are a part of it and it's only about your involvement how much you want to involve into it but eventually you are still a part of it
yeah and see more and more organizations are trying to bring in fairness in the process like कि जैसे ratings मैनेजर सपोज पॉलिटिकल किसी अगर कोई कंपनी में मैनेजर ही डिसाइड करता है आपकी रेटिंग क्या है एंड कुछ डिस्कशन ही नहीं होता किसी के साथ देन इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट बट सपोज इन अ कैलिब्रेशन सेशन देयर आर 10 people sitting and talking about you then again there is an element of like fairness which may come in because there are more people giving inputs some companies have matrix system जिसमें कि मैनेजर के अलावा there is a functional manager also giving inputs about you so these are some systemic things which are already in place जिसको leverage करना चाहिए
interesting and you know amidst of all of this how can a person you know actually grow their own career and you know how can they be more self-aware towards advancing their career
so you have to very clearly understand very authentically and clearly अपने strengths क्या हैं and weaknesses क्या है you should know that and I don't believe with this concept कि I can become strong in everything yeah and there will be areas where you're not strong so you have to manage now if in these areas you're not strong and your work requires you to use those areas see for example I'm not good in networking and मैं sales role में चली जाती हूँ then I'm going to struggle I'm going to find it difficult but then can I use my other strengths to do it so having an awareness of what are my strengths what naturally comes to me is an important thing and the role I want to do does that role does my strength support my ability to do that role, and how can I build my capability is I think one big level of awareness. Ki just because that role is fancy, do I need to do that, or can I do roles where I am good at, which interests me, jahan pe main say, because if you like something then and it comes naturally to you, you will not mind even stretching for it. So self awareness is very important aspect. Asking for feedback from key stakeholders all point in time, like at continuous interval ki what do you think I am doing, what areas do you see I am improving. So taking some feedback, having career conversations with managers, कि not talk about career at the time of rating. The rating के time पे तो performance ही discuss होगा. So and organizations may not have specific places, but then you have to talk about your career. So you have to constantly beginning of the year कि अच्छा इस साल how can I be different, what growth looks for me, what do I need to do differently. So I think those are aspects about career awareness, self awareness.
And you know, how can someone have a growth mindset when it comes to their professional life?
ग्रोथ माइंडसेट एंड फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट पे तो बहुत लोग बात करते हैं, बट ग्रोथ माइंडसेट ऑनेस्टली इज दैट आई एम नॉट इन माई कम्फर्ट जोन. दैट अगर मैं कुछ चीज़ कर रही हूँ जिसमें मैं कभी फेल ही नहीं होती हूँ, तो इट मीन्स दैट आई एम डूइंग इट कंफर्टेबली, आई एम इन माई कम्फर्ट जोन. इफ आई एम स्ट्रगलिंग विद समथिंग, इट मीन्स इट्स समथिंग न्यू, आई एम लर्निंग अ न्यू स्किल. सो growth mindset in simple terms is willingness to take risks and fail. So not being scared of failing, but willing to try, for example, a new role. Like you have not done a particular thing in the past. If that opportunity comes, and maybe it will lead to some better opportunities in future, are you willing to take it? Is growth mindset. Suppose you say, अरे मेरा rating खराब हो जाएगा, मैं तो top performer नहीं रहूँगा, नहीं रहूँगी, or whatever, you know, and I will not be able to do that job, then you are working out of fear. Then it's not growth mindset. So growth mindset is effectively taking up challenging work, being willing to take risks, learning new things. Again, feedback, asking for feedback is also growth mindset, that how will you know where you fall short. But these are broadly, like in simple terms, what is growth mindset, that take failure, don't worry so much about failing.
You know, you have mentioned feedback in almost everything. Good feedback everyone is ready to take, right? We are more than happy to take good feedback, but when it comes to negative feedback, how should one take it?
So I think you have to be okay. So again, how that feedback is given also makes a difference, I think. But see, I personally believe that you don't have to accept every negative feedback, in the sense that you can reject some feedback, in the sense internally. You can hear the feedback and see how much of it applies to you. But if there is some truth, see, you have to be self-aware again. कि ये बोल रहे, so if you don't agree with feedback, ask for data. कि आप ये कभी-कभी managers को feedback देना भी नहीं आता है, because they will say you're not good with stakeholder management. They will give some generic statement like this. So if you don't agree with it, or if you hear this, then you should ask, can you tell me why do you give this feedback? Where have you seen me not exhibit this? What will good stakeholder management look like? So when you get a negative feedback and you don't like it, I think you need to ask for data so that you can trust that feedback. अगर suppose वो data भी आपसे resonate नहीं कर रहा है, then it's okay for you to say that, okay, you're giving me this feedback, but I don't think that I agree to it, and you have to also substantiate with data. See, nothing is more important than data when you are having a negotiation or a conversation like this, because data speaks for itself. So with managers also, sometimes we say that document conversations. Like if you see examples of suppose there is a person who is not performing well, अभी साल के एंड में हम फीडबैक देते हैं, सपोज जनरली द ऑल्सो वी से दैट मेक फीडबैक अ कंटिन्यूस प्रोसेस. बट कभी साल के एंड तक लोग भूल भी जाते हैं कि क्या हुआ था.
हाँ, टिपिकली वही होता है, पहले जब भी फीडबैक सेशन है उसे 2 महीने पहले तक का याद रहता है.
हाँ,
And-
सो विच इज रिसेंसी इफेक्ट कि अभी 2 महीने में सब कुछ अच्छा था.
करेक्ट.
So then the rating is excellent, but then we say that maintain a critical incident diary, constantly document feedback. So then at the end when you give feedback, then the person will not be surprised. अच्छा अभी तक तो सब ठीक चल रहा था, अब सडनली आप बोल रहे हो मेरा स्टेक होल्डर मैनेजमेंट ठीक नहीं है. हाउ कम यू नेवर टोल्ड मी? So this is also important for managers to constantly, because see at the end of the day it is you are on the employee, you have to be on the employee side. You are giving this feedback because you want the employee to grow.
And you know what role does confidence play in your career and its growth?
It's very very important. It cannot be emphasized enough ki how important it is to be confident. And because अगर आप confident नहीं हो, then you will always second guess your work. You will not be able to push back on the feedback that or whatever manager जो बोल रहा है सबको सही लगेगा, because you are already struggling with so much of self doubt. तो आप किस बेसिस पे आप फाइट करोगे ना किसी चीज़ के लिए? सो इफ़ यू आर नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट देन यू आर नॉट एबल टू पुश बैक, यू आर नॉट एबल टू फाइट फॉर योर सेल्फ, यू आर नॉट एबल टू शोकेस बिकॉज यू फील दैट यू आर नॉट गुड इनफ. तो आप क्या ही शोकेस करोगे? यू विल नॉट रेज योर हैंड फॉर अपॉर्चुनिटीज बिकॉज यू आर ऑलवेज फील दैट कि मैं रेडी ही नहीं हूँ. सो यू विल रियली it will be a little struggle if you're not very confident. At least you should be confident about yourself. You should be okay with yourself.
And does that mean even fake confidence? Does that help?
I don't think so कि fake confidence help, but see sometimes they say that body language makes a lot of difference. Like there are a lot of techniques which are available nowadays which say that कि if you show up in certain ways, so what I would say that don't fake it. I would say that do it despite feeling underconfident. Like which is like कि अगर आपको डर लग रहा है कि मैं ये करूं कि नहीं करूं, एंड डर सबको लगता है, कुछ लोग दिखाते कुछ नहीं दिखाते. सपोज कि आपको लग रहा है, some people who are really struggling with confidence or have low self esteem or don't have trust in their capability will shy away. I would say rather कि करो, even if you're feeling scared, I would say take it. जो होगा देखा जाएगा, you know. और जो होगा देखा जाएगा वो तो इतना easily मैं बोल रही हूँ, but that is how you can fake it. Rather than just saying कि हाँ मैं, if you tell yourself 100 times a day I am feeling confident, it doesn't mean that you will become confident. But if you wade through that despite the fear, then you will go somewhere, I feel.
So basically you're saying it comes with exposure in a way. You have to expose yourself to that thing. And
see, sometimes it seems very scary. So we say that take some risks. Like for example, failure looks scary. कि fail हो जाएगा, कुछ गलत हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा, सब क्या बोलेंगे. Once you fail, you realize कि कोई कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहा है. कि 1-2 दिन तक कोई बोलता है, उसके बाद सब normal हो जाते हैं. So once you experience, then you trust that कि it is not so catastrophic to fail or make mistakes. If you make mistakes, then people will say that क्यों गलती हुआ, इतना तो पूछेगा ही ना कोई. But after that, people are sometimes okay with it, or sometimes it may go the other way also. But I'm saying unless you experience it and see what it leads to, you will not. And many times हमारे past experiences भी define करता है, because if I had a poor experience as a child or in the past, I become more scared to take these risks.
So basically you're saying कि हमारा जैसा childhood रहा है या पहले के experiences रहे हैं, that actually comes with us in the office. And they impact how we are functioning in the office.
See, at the end of the day, you are one person with all your everything, right? So you cannot become a different person at work and different person at home. If it is happening like that, so you come with your own doubts, fears, insecurities, strengths, everything is you only, right? And that person that you are will show up in the way they work in teams, or the way they work as leaders, what kind of leaders they become. सी आई हैव सीन इन HR, जैसे एम्प्लॉयज़ को बोला जाता है कि मैनेजर्स को बोला जाता है कि वाई डोंट यू रिकग्नाइज योर एम्प्लॉयज़, but generally you would realize if you understand them better that these people themselves were never recognized. They hold themselves to very high standards, so they're not able to lower the standards for the team. So what I'm trying to say कि उसके अपने thought process and belief system impact his leadership style.
Interesting. And you know, in terms of, in one of our previous conversations, you mentioned about changing roles and trying something new. So, I mean, how can someone actually maneuver their career? First of all, when should they do it? And if, you know, they decide they want to, how can they do it?
So I'd say maneuvering careers are very very different kind of maneuvers are possible. हो सकता है कि you want to retain your domain, but you want, like for example you are in sales, you want to do sales in some other industry is also one kind of maneuvering, or you want to go from sales to say designing. Now to do any role you need to have the skills to do it, so you have to acquire the skills. ऐसे just maneuver नहीं होता है, but you have to acquire the knowledge, skills, certifications which are required for the job over a period of time, or you have to make some effort to be able to do that job, otherwise करोगे कैसे? Right? So to maneuver careers is possible, and a lot of people are doing it to pivot into different careers, but it requires really acquiring those knowledge, skills and experiences. Again, experiences can come through internships, through volunteering, working with smaller companies, certifications कर सकते हैं. कभी कभी it is easier to change job but be in the same industry. For example, आप marketing कर रहे हो, आप legal में काम कर रहे हो, and you want to change into marketing, and you are in say FMCG industry, so join a FMCG company only. इन द न्यू, अगर आप ऑयल एंड गैस में चले जाओगे तो इंडस्ट्री भी अलग हो जाता है, फंक्शन भी अलग हो जाता है. करेक्ट. सो कीप समथिंग कांस्टेंट, इट विल मेक इट इजियर टू मैनूवर.
एंड आई मीन इन टर्म्स ऑफ you know sticking with a company for very long or keep changing your jobs, what have you seen, what works better in terms of, you know, better career growth and also better money?
Okay, so I have seen that people stay in one company for 30 years also, and they end up join as an intern and become the CEO of a company, and they never needed the reason to leave. So एक time पे ऐसे भी लोग हैं. Now why you want to change the company is, if you are able to find growth and opportunities, then you don't necessarily need to change a company, right? Because if you feel satisfied, work culture अच्छा है, so just because everybody is changing, you don't need to change. As long as you're seeing a growth path and recognition मिल रहा है, right opportunities मिल रहे हैं, तो ठीक है, it's okay. But I personally feel अगर आप change करते हो company, then you learn to work with different kind of people, you learn about industries, you learn about different cultures, your adaptability improves. So because it's not easy to move from one company to another company, start building new relationships in this company. So दोनों के pros and cons हैं. And sometimes if you, I have seen that if you again not a very strong performer but you're in a company for long, then you will get very average increments. So salary over a period of time stagnates because you're not, again it depends on the performance. If you change companies, you generally go with some hike. So salaries, कभी-कभी I realize that people are very senior and tenured, but salaries बहुत low हैं क्योंकि somewhere the performance was also very average and they didn't see much growth in the company, and they still continue to stay in the company for whatever reasons. So again, but if you are a top performer, high potential, if you stay in the company, they will pay you more because they want you.
So basically it depends from person to person,
performance, situation, how much the company values you, how much, whether you're seen as a high potential or not, how much is the organization willing to keep you.
And you know, now more and more women, we are entering into workforce, but abhi bhi कई कई डोमेन्स हैं जो बहुत ही मेल स्पेसिफिक डोमेन्स हैं, राइट, एंड इट्स ऑलमोस्ट इम्पॉसिबल टू एंटर दोज रोल्स फॉर वुमेन. So what would be your advice to such women who wants to go into those roles?
I would say go. But be ready to because see at some point in time किसी domain में भी women नहीं थे. But कोई ना कोई तो गया ना. So if you are very clear about what you are getting into, because I know of cases where women joined offices where there was not even a women's washroom. Yeah, but so if because see now more and more organizations are wanting to take women for whatever, because they have also realized diversity is important, and if women want to take up opportunities where they feel lesser women are there, they are confident and they are willing to take stay with they are aware of the challenges that they will face, that they may be the only woman in the room in a meeting. It happens even in large corporates where there are a lot of women at junior level, but senior level में कोई woman नहीं होता है. There are many meetings where I was the only woman. So ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई बड़े कॉर्पोरेट में जाओगे सीनियर पोजीशन में पहुंच गए तो बहुत वुमेन मिलेंगे. But I think it is fine if you are willing, because I know of examples of young women who want to do it, like they intentionally want to get into manufacturing, automobiles. They are willing to stay in like smaller places. See, sometimes safety is also like depends on what kind of environment you get.
Got it. And men and women, they network a little differently, right? So it's not the same style. So what would be your suggestion to women specifically on how they should network?
So men go out for chai, smoke break, drinks after work. They build a lot of connections. They are they easily meet people from other industries. So उनके जाते ही रहते हैं. Women are more impacted because I think young women are doing it. But as you get married, have children, then you're already straddled with the responsibilities. But increasingly, I think there's a lot of awareness which is getting created कि ये ज़रूरी है, तो करना है. So prioritize it. You can also network with other women within the organization. Like we are now bringing in this concept of that how can this employee resource groups can be created. So there are forums where women can network with other women. Women can also are being increasingly told कि ये important है. It is non-negotiable.
Because you rightly said, I mean, younger women, they are still able to network the men's way, I would say, wherein they'll go for
go out, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as you have kids, I think that becomes very difficult for us, because I mean we have to really rush back home to the child. So at least the initial few years when you become a mother, it becomes very tough.
Also, I think women also need to, like, if you want, like, it is like we have now spoken enough about like women cannot have it all, like people say that, right? But also we often say that women need to ask for help, build support system around them, that if you want a career and you want growth, then कुछ तो करना ही पड़ेगा. You have to give up on something, and you cannot be a superwoman who reaches home on time. Like I read about some woman who travels by, I don't remember her name, who goes by helicopter to work and comes back every day. To like, there are women who are doing that also because career is important, but everyone cannot do it. But so what else can you do? Like, can you talk to your husband, and or you can solicit support from some help, in-laws. It's not easy. That's why women are not doing it. It's not that they don't want to do it.
Yeah, because I think after maternity, a lot of women, they do quit. Because of the challenges that they face, and they're not able to cope up with pressure from both the sides.
And organizations are also recognizing it now कि we don't want, because women middle management में quit करते हैं, and senior management में women ही नहीं है, इसीलिए क्योंकि middle management में बहुत लोग quit कर रहे हैं. And they want to retain these, so they are also coming up with policies, processes कि कैसे support कर सकते हैं. And there are also a lot of investment is happening around telling women that what are the key skills to grow, like how to grow, what are the important things. Networking is important. Willing to take risk, raise hand for opportunities even when you're not ready is important. Then showcasing your work is important, because women also don't talk about their work lesser than men. Confidence, like women will apply to a job if they meet 100% of the criteria. Men apply to jobs even if they meet 60% of the criteria. So increasingly people are telling them that these are things that we have seen women struggle with. So become aware. So abhi itna awareness we are trying to create, and then now they have to also take some they have to really work. If it is important for them to have a career, which is important, then we have to figure out ways to incorporate into somehow prioritize it.
True. And corporate structure जैसा रहता है, it's more like a triangle, right? Initially when you join, there like lot of opportunities धीरे करके कम होती जाती हैं, and till the end though there's only one person, of course. So I mean, how can someone really keep growing and break that glass ceiling in a way?
That is not possible for everyone to keep growing, because सब कोई तो CEO नहीं बन सकते हैं. So at some level you will stagnate, like you will come and realize that okay, इसके बाद next क्या? And then there are many things you can do. Like for example, if you cannot become a CEO for this company, then you can become CEO of a smaller company. Yeah, you can do your own startup. So for example, there is a study that only one woman leader could become the CEO of a company. The others were also equally capable. They left and moved into better opportunities. So you have to take those calls that because honestly only few people can grow beyond a point. So then you have to see where can I get. So if it is very important to become a CEO of a company for you, figure out a smaller company where you will be acceptable as a CEO. And I have seen those calls being taken. Or move into regional roles where you may not become a CEO, but you will get a position of responsibility. So you have to figure out
what is the next
best.
So you can't keep being stuck there in that position and cribbing about it in a way, but you try to figure out what's the next best for you.
Of course you can, like what will be the use of, like you have to ask that, like sometimes you may take a call, and I have seen that also happen, that this position is also good. Yeah, in fact in this position also my role will change because companies bhi बढ़ रही है ना, so the scope of responsibilities will increase. So some people may take a call that I will stay here only, but the scope of responsibilities over the next 5 years will also continue to grow. And some may say that okay, I want to become a CEO only, so let me go to some other company. And opportunities do exist.
And आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा एक discussion है about millennials and Gen Zs, right? So, and of course there are differences, and there are visible differences between these two generations. So with a millennial boss and a Gen Z subordinate, what are the issues that you have seen, and how can they be managed better?
I think the Gen Z is extremely confident. They come with a lot of confidence. They have some views and very strong views about how things should be done. They also don't hesitate maybe. So I feel that they're emotionally not intelligent, in the sense that how to regulate their emotion as well as how to convey what they want to say in a way that the other person receives it appropriately. So then they also are not very good with managing stress. So these are the things that we observe about the Gen Z, right? So when they join a workforce, and I think around 30% of the workforce is already, I don't know, like almost 30% of the workforce may already have these Gen Zs. So I think because it is a struggle to manage them, I think already the company is trying to see what else can be done in terms of what they value, so that they value their work-life balance a lot. They want to take vacations, they want to take break, they will not work extra hours, they have very strong views about how much they will work and when, why. They have a sense of, they feel that they have a sense of purpose, and there's certain things that they will do or not do, right? So which makes it very tricky to work with them. But having said that, they are very important because the next generation is them only. Because और कहाँ से लाएंगे work, वो सारे तो यही हैं future के. So as with others, we have to do like we have to segment by employees and their needs, right? So our policies, processes and benefits have to align to those needs. But I think what I feel will work best with these managers and with these group of people is that like I think a coaching based approach, like a manager as coach, because intelligent तो है, but उनको पता नहीं कि करना कैसे है. So trying to help them figure it out in terms of providing enough empathy. And empathy doesn't mean that, because it's very easy to get irritated with them, and we have children at home, and we know that how strong their views can be, and how they are not able to communicate things right in the right way. It sometimes comes across as disrespect, or so. And also there is some research that they don't know how to have difficult conversations, so they will come across as, so they will avoid it and then they will quit rather than discuss. Or they have sense of entitlement कि मुझे promotion मिलना ही चाहिए, you know. So those kind of things to maneuver, I think it is very important to be more patient and to coach them, I feel. Because what else can you do to help them see that this is not how you have to help them develop these strong emotional intelligence, which is like ability to understand one's emotion and regulate it, and ability to understand the impact of my behavior on others and accordingly moderate my behavior. So ye skill they have to develop, which can only come by the manager being patient with them, helping them see instead of like being triggered by their behavior, because it is very easy to get triggered by their behavior.
So there has to be open communication between the manager
and the employee at a very, very regular level, and maybe helping them see through like how their behavior is impacting. What are there other options that they're not exploring? Is quitting really the option? What are the options? So basically, again, I feel that helping them provide a safe, non-judgmental space. So which is very difficult for a manager, like so again, but that is again what we want managers to become, right? Because nowadays we are saying, how can you become a coach as a manager as coaches, right? Instead of telling people what to do, help people think through what they need to do. So that is, I think, one way that can be looked at. And I have seen that work with managers, like, and I don't believe that all millennials are like, so all Gen Zs are like this, because there are people who are quite clear, they know. So
I think ऐसा होगा कि most of them
are like this, and that's because how they have grown up, the environment in which they have grown up. So there are examples of some others, but mostly they are like this, difficult to manage.
And you know, like remote work, it has become a reality for all of us. So with remote work, how can someone manage their career? I mean, you know, we talked about relationship building is very important. So how can someone do that with remote work?
I think that's one of the key challenges with remote work, which is why I think I have seen people who initially wanted to work remotely, but then now they want to go back. Specifically, if you are in a team where there are some people who are already working in office and some people are working remotely by choice, then it becomes even more challenging, because then you are almost isolated, because you are the one off in the team and everybody else is together. So it's so how to build relationship is again like I think then the effort is extra. Because office mein you will find these excuses to go for lunch, dinner, then the effort is extra in terms of like, then you have to specifically ask or find ways to make it happen or connect, interact, because remote relationships have to happen remotely unless you are making effort to meet outside office, and if you're in different location that cannot happen. So I think with key stakeholders is to identify a cadence ki once in a quarter, like at least I will have a short catch up call where I will just ask how things are, and if there is anything that I need to do differently, my team needs to do differently, ask for guidance, feedback. So you can plan around it. With team members, maybe making effort to call them over weekends, talk to them, and engage with them. There will be opportunities to continue to work in projects. So how do you interact with others during the project, and how do you support each other? Because how do you build relationship? You build relationship not just by talking, but you also how you provide support, how do you make the other person feel, work with the other person, like how do you share credit, how do you share responsibilities, how much do you respect each other's views and opinions. All these things are elements of how you make the other person feel about you, right?
Because I think COVID actually, if I talk about myself, it had become a struggle, because whenever you call someone, it was primarily about work, right? So मतलब हमेशा ऐसा होता था, अगर किसी ने कॉल किया तो काम के लिए ही किया है, मतलब नॉर्मल टाइम पास के लिए कॉल नहीं किया है. So I think remote work में that becomes a little challenging, because वो चिट चैट वाला टाइम नहीं मिलता है जो यूजुअल फेस टू फेस कॉन्वर्सेशन में होता है कि चलो चाय पे चलते हैं, या let's go for lunch or dinner.
Yeah, so in those situations, I have built excellent relationship remotely, because I think the relationships were built because it went beyond just talking about work. Because there is an attempt to just connect, so that we have not spoken for a long time, can we talk? So because some of the initiatives also we have to take ourselves, to remember to important milestones, or like birthdays. On that birthday, not send a message, just call. And basically show a genuine interest in the other person. कि मतलब to show some indication कि I really value this partnership or relationship. It's not just that कि मैं ये कर रही हूँ just for the sake of doing it, because so that helps in building relationship remotely. Because see, many times lot of our stakeholders, even though before remote work, when you worked in multinational companies, you will have some stakeholders who are remote only.
Correct.
Because it doesn't matter कि कोविड आया and ये सब हो गया, पहले भी ऐसे ही था.
Correct. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but I think one thing that works wonderfully well with people working remote might be actually starting the conversation with a normal topic, not directly jumping onto the work. कि क्या चल रहा है, काम में क्या चल रहा है, but normal topic, that how's the weather, how things are.
So basically to make, even if it is remote, to make effort in trying to know more about the person beyond work, to show interest, genuine interest in the other person, helps in building relationships. And most of the relationships you will see will get built beyond work, beyond office hours, or and it takes effort. It takes effort to build relationships. It cannot be just built by one conversation. It takes time.
Interesting. Yeah, and some questions for you in terms of as a leadership coach, what has been the most rewarding moment in your journey as a coach?
I think the most meaningful thing for me has been the growth of the client, which is basically like like I think one of the recent examples of what really delighted me is that somebody who came into the conversation thinking that or into the session thinking that he's not able to stand up for himself, to be excluded from important conversations, to be asked to make PPTs and just not being allowed to present, to finally get a promotion. And then that person then attributing it to the work that we did together. Those are moments which are very meaningful. I think it brings joy.
And can you share a personal failure that you experienced and how it shaped your career?
In my professional life, there are many. I think there are hundreds. I think the whole thing around being a first-time people manager has been like very, very challenging for me. So I was asked to lead a team, and I was asked to lead recruitment, and I never have done recruitment in the past. And I think at that point in time, I struggled a lot with working with peers who became my reportees. And a lot of the things that I said earlier, that how to navigate this, comes from my own personal experience of how I felt not good enough, not wanting to displease them, wanting to be always in the good books. My own struggles to delegate. So I think I struggled with all of the things together. I think what was the failure in this is that I didn't ask for help. The struggle is everybody will struggle, but I tried to figure it out on my own. Like I didn't want to ask for help because I felt that if I ask for help from within the organization, then people have given me this role, and now they will start thinking that
she doesn't.
Maybe we made the wrong decision. So I just struggled through it for long, which was not necessary, I feel, in hindsight. So yeah, it has really shaped my thinking around asking for help, not expecting me to start performing in a new role from day one. So
that's interesting. And what's a piece of unconventional career advice that has worked well for you or your clients?
Unconventional. I think I don't know whether it is conventional, unconventional, but I think you can change careers at any point in time. You have to work towards it. Also, I feel that whenever you take up something, it takes time to become successful in that. So be patient with it. And I think the most important thing is to be very self-aware and look at reasons why you're not feeling confident and work consciously on it. I think these are the key things which I would say that areas around which I work with my clients. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and thank you so much for taking your time and going through all the questions that we had. I learned a lot from it. I'm sure our audience did as well. If you did, do like, comment and share our content. And thank you so much, Preksha. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much.